Hello wonderful people, Connor Whitmore here again with another video for you on the Nawtystep channel, and today I'm going to be going over 10 of the most iconic Never Say Die Black Label tracks. Yeah, if you're a fan or follower of modern dubstep, then you will have heard by now that Tuesday we got the news that the sister imprint of Never Say Die Black Label will be no more after this week is up, and the final release will be the new Tramper tune coming out today, as in Friday, and yeah, it's sad. I mean, when you think about just the sheer amount that Black Label, as a label, has done for dubstep music in progressing it, you know, taking dubstep in new and different directions, and the artists that they've kind of, you know, brought to the limelight and shown to a load of people, and also just what it's meant for fans as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, just, I think there are a lot of people who basically grew to appreciate dubstep through Black Label, and so for them there's going to be a lot of attachment there, you know, a strong affinity, and just a lot of nostalgia, I think, kind of steeped and really kind of forged with Black Label. So very much not a small thing that Black Label is finishing, but that being said, very happy that they were able to reach this decision organically, as opposed to it being forced on them in any way, if you know what I mean. And yeah, I think what they said is true. You know, the lines were very much being blurred more and more over time between the main label and Black Label, and I think what Black Label was originally intended as was being lost more and more over time. So yeah, most stuff that was coming out on Black Label could have been on either label, do you know what I mean? So what they've done here, what they're going for, I think it makes sense. But yeah, time to celebrate the label here with a little tribute, and with this video, these 10 tracks, I'm not saying they're the definitive best or ultimate Black Label tracks in any way. It's a mix of those which are renowned, you know, very much celebrated by many, by loads of followers and fans of Black Label, and also a few which I've got a particular attachment to myself. But yeah, fundamentally here, you know, all of them really remind me of the label, and I'm going to be going through them in chronological order, so oldest to most recent, playing them out as well so that we can enjoy them together, and providing a bit of commentary along the way. And yeah, let's get going, starting with Head Crush by Bad Clark. Had to include a track from the very first Black Label compilation. Just had to. That, iconic. That is completely iconic. Oh. Oi! That as well, in the background. So memorable. And again. Percussion, clean, sharp, exact, just listen to that. A very good example of delivering a lot without doing all that much, and all the elements just working together perfectly. There's always been a part of me that thinks both drops go on for just a little bit too long, overstay their welcome just a little bit, but I mean, for a lot of people, drawing them out more, making them more kind of extensive and enduring will be a good thing. So yeah, just is for some, isn't for others, but you know, bottom line, the heaviness we get here, so well put together, clean, concise, to the point, and yeah, just a fucking good track. Next up, one that might surprise a few people, but which is for me, personally, I think my pick from the first few releases or so that we got from Black Label. And yeah, I just wish, you know, I wish that we'd got more from this producer on this label, but, you know, can't have it all, can you? But yeah, this one definitely sticking out in the earlier parts of Black Label, in its kind of infancy, if you will. But that is Phantom Pain by Axel Boy. This introduction, man. Every time I hear it, I'm just like, yeah, easily one of my favourite Black Label tunes ever. No question. I love how it kind of feels like it's falling over itself, like stumbling, do you know what I mean? Then the energy of it, the vibrancy kind of running through, just, oh, beautiful. Melodically, as you can hear, spot on, beautiful melody to it. And then the dubstep, just so mechanical, twisted, jumpy, and yeah, just has the right approach to space and timing, do you know what I mean? Like, just filling the gaps perfectly, and just a lot of moments to hold on to and remember, I would say. And like the bad clerk before, yeah, the elements here just working together very well, and nothing really feeling out of place. And yeah, a bit of flair here as well, which we didn't get loads of in the earlier stages from Black Label, but yeah, definitely got it here with Phantom Pain by Axel Boyd. After that, an artist who you wouldn't really associate with Black Label, but this tune is a classic, and it was put out on Black Label, so I can't not talk about it, and that is Invaders by Zomboy. Just go. The percussion, man. Always a joke. It's a joke. By that I mean it's good. Zomboy, full flow, growls, swipes, all that shit. What more needs to be said? Now this midsection just fucks me up every single time. And the outro here as well, underrated. Yep, Zomboy in full flow, not much else to it, and some people might be like, well, you know, not really a Black Label kind of tune, but I think Zomboy did make his sound, you know, considerably darker here for this tune, and so basically what we get is his amazing and alert, bombastic style, but yeah, in a bit of a darker, I don't know, a bit of a darker shine to it, if you will. Yeah, we definitely get that here, and so very much a Black Label tune for me, and yeah, a classic. In that kind of time, that era, he was just, every tune was sensational and knockout music, and yeah, that is another example of that, Invaders by Zomboy. After that, we have one of the quintessential Black Label tunes from one of, if not the most important Black Label artist, I would have to say. And yeah, a tune revered by many and celebrated by many, basically all who have grown up with this label, and that tune is Runners by Tramper. Another iconic introduction, like just statement making, attention grabbing, you know what you're fucking getting. Oh, that has always killed me. That digga digga digga. Oh, fuck me up. Oi, oi, oi. Yeah, kind of like the bad clerk, you know, the main dubstep ideas are quite simple, quite straightforward. Just boom to pat and then wah wah wah. Or, you know, the different layouts of sound that we get there with that idea, but the way it's put together, the way that each kind of little moment is accentuated and kind of given its own space, beautiful, like really well done, so well constructed and put together. And the background touches, the vocal samples, the production, the sharpness of it, and yeah, again, that thing of all the elements just working together so well. Just a classic, we'll always love it. Yeah, Tramper, Runners. After that, another absolute classic, and one that for me is undeniably one of the most, well, definitely in the top 10 most celebrated Black Label tunes of all time. And yeah, from an artist who has grown to become one of the most popular in the scene in dubstep today, and that is Casket by Marauder. Absolute filth. This little dip here. Bellissimo. This little bit. Ah, fuck me, like, savage. Yeah, I mean, he'd made fantastic tunes before that, but this was him, you know, with this tune and that EP, the Malignant EP, very much, you know, announcing himself on the big stage, and that was quite, you know, that was the pick for many from the bunch, from the four in that EP, or on that EP, and yeah, very memorable, from the drops to the vocal samples, the introduction, the overall musicality of it. Yeah, just, again, loads going for it, and just delivering that idea through his style and in the most impactful and emphatic way possible. So, yeah, if you wanted a good dose of Marauder, then you were going to get that there, and he definitely delivered on that tune, and more far beyond with Black Label going forward, which we might get to in a bit. Yeah, Casket, Marauder, a banger, an absolute classic, and yeah, fucking great. Moving on, we have the first artist who I'm mentioning for a second time here, and that is little surprise, I think, given how integral he was in the formulation and progression and development of Black Label as an imprint, and yeah, just how big a part he played in Black Label being a big thing as an entity, as an imprint, all of that. And yeah, that is Badclaw, and the tune is Knuckle Sandwich. Yet again here, the introduction, just iconic. Proper neck bop, proper neck bop. Yet again from Badclaw, heavy, to the point, simple, concise, and yeah, for what it is, you know, not doing a lot, it's just so well done. Very powerful, very effective, and yeah, just full of force, brutal. He switches it up well from the first drop to the second as well, with those little jumpy little wubs in the background, those whoop like that. Unapologetically heavy, I would say, you know, and not needing to do too much because the production and just the isolation of those stabs just sells it. Yeah, fucking brilliant. And also one that I think just has to be mentioned because it was just in every single set, pretty much every kind of dubstep set from 2017 to like the summer of 2018. Yeah, just everyone was playing it. Very popular and regarded, and yeah, just fucking went off in a live environment. I'll never forget hearing it about maybe 7 or 8 times at Los Angeles 2018. So yeah, so good and memorable and iconic. Yeah, Knuckle Sandwich. Moving on, now I might actually go out on a limb here and say that this is my favourite Black Label track of all time. Yeah, I'm looking at the 10 here that I've got listed, and yeah, this one I just fucking love it so much, and I've grown to enjoy it more over time, and yeah, it's just iconic for sure. And from here, just gonna let the music do the talking, and that is Play Card by Triller. Everything about it, man, just so full of life, so jumpy, and so dark still at the same time. Do you know what I mean? Like the contrast there between it being very happy and jovial, uplifting, and then it just being so savage and dark and yeah, just evil at the same time, you know. So musically on point, like fuck me. And then this outro as well, which is just like another song almost in itself, you know, another concept. But for me, it's not just the song in itself, but when it came out. You know, I think in that moment, 2018, you know, a lot of dubstep was so formulaic, straightforward, one-dimensional. And that tune, when I first heard it, just completely threw me off. And yeah, attention-grabbing, statement-making. If you're looking for something on Black Label that's a bit more outlandish, out there, and adventurous, you know, all that kind of stuff, a bit more story to it, and yeah, just scope, atmosphere, all of that, then you're gonna get that there as a kind of complete package. But yeah, Play Card, fucking love it. Then we have one of the most renowned recent singles, you know, another that's been played out a lot and which is widely celebrated, and which is for me the absolute best that we've got so far from this producer, who has a very high standard. So yeah, it does say a lot about how fantastic this tune is, and that is Mega Punch by Calcium. The introductions here on this list. The crispness of that production. Not Christmas, but crispness. Just want to clear that one up this time.
That's one big Mega Punch.
So gnarly, so ravenous, but so well contained and packaged. Like, it's just so well put together. A bit more toned down, this drop, but still works as a progression, as a development. Does do a good job, I think, of kind of, yeah, revealing it and unleashing it in just a little bit more of a toned down way. Unleashing one idea in multiple different ways across the stretch of it. That is one of the more recent ones that I think I really do love. But yeah, Mega Punch is good. And ultimately, my favourite tune from someone who's grown to become one of the most consistent and reliable and just overall great producers in dubstep today when it comes to a combination of ideas and production, and who's also grown to become a mainstay for Never Say Die in quite a short amount of time. You know, very, excuse me, very commendable in that regard, and that is Tripolar Dub by Achios. This is when dubstep got super playful. Do you know what I mean? Like, thinking about the Calcium before, this one, other tunes as well.
Get off, man.
Again, like, the jumpiness of it, the playfulness of it, the creativity on show, and all within that rhythmy format, like, and I'm peeing. Really like this midsection as well, as a way of kind of, yeah, again, toning down, giving a bit of a reflective moment just before the heaviness comes in again, and, you know, it does with full force.
Get off, man.
Just a massive succession of lasers and jabs and fucking stabs, and fantastically well cut and put together and assembled, and the idea riveting, and just keeping it the perfect amount of varied over its course as well. The little ways it changes up, and the vocal sampling, the introduction and outro, it's just got so much going for it, and is executed in the ideal way for that particular idea we get. So yeah, Tripolar Dub, it's a spicy meatball. And finally, a collaboration here between two producers who have already been mentioned, and yeah, one that was bound to happen at some point, and a track that I think I placed in my top 5 singles of last year, of 2020. So yeah, if you want to know more about how much I love it and exactly why, then I recommend checking out that video. I will link it right here. But yeah, without further ado, just gonna let the music do the talking again here. Tramper, Marauder, Ruckus, let's fucking do it. In so many ways, this collaboration, exactly what you'd expect and want from them as a combination. Yeah, what a way to finish off here. I mean, full-on, brutal, overpowering, and kind of just like a beast stampeding towards you and ready to knock down everything in its path, in its way, and yeah, obliterate everything that comes near it. And that is exactly it. I did think originally, when I first heard it, that the midsection could have been extended a bit and that they could have elongated that section a bit. But no, I think, you know, what we're going to get from them is just a very explosive and to-the-point number, and that's exactly what we get, you know. It was just fantastic for Marauder to work with Tramper, what with him being his idol and whatnot when it comes to, yeah, dubstep music and the figures he has looked up to most and whatnot. So, yeah, all round, just a fantastic collab, and really did deliver, I think, in terms of living up to the names that we got on paper for this collaboration. So yeah, Ruckus, what a blistering and, you know, just big way to finish off here. Just before I leave you with some closing thoughts here, I'm just gonna show you a couple of extra mentions or special mentions which I didn't talk about in the main part of the video and feature in full. But yeah, a couple here, like, you know, a couple of classics and ones that I enjoy personally quite a lot. So yeah, just going to put this list up here. And yeah, some I imagine, you know, you'll be like, oh, why didn't you feature that in full, blah, blah, blah. The ones I did really did stick out for me personally, and I think in a wider context as well. And yeah, these ones I just want to shout out as well because they're important in the progression and formulation of Black Label over the 6-year period or so. So yeah, have a good peruse of that for a couple of seconds, and yeah, a load of bangers right there. But yeah, in wrapping up here, I mean, that's it. That's Black Label. Done. And now we do have to kind of use this time to celebrate what they've done and cherish it going forward. You know, we'll live on through Never Say Die, but this label was an important one, you know, for what it did originally, how it transformed and evolved and mutated, and just what it did for the scene, you know. It did usher in the Riddim era. It was a kind of the start of that, if you will, the inception of the kind of resurgence of Riddim in dubstep music in its popular form, if you will. And yeah, I think for the most part I haven't been massive on Riddim. But in saying that, I think they took it in fantastic and new and innovative directions for one, and also the Riddim that was coming out on Black Label was always forward-thinking for the most part, and yeah, transformative and different, and the production as well really good, which we didn't get a lot of elsewhere. But yeah, Black Label, even though Riddim hasn't always been my thing personally, I think they did it well. They did it right, if you know what I mean. And the new artists that it brought to our attention, and also in the meantime providing the blueprint which other main labels like Disciple, Bygor would follow after and take after in making sister imprints of their own. So yeah, not just in dubstep, I think, but bass music at large, they were very much the trailblazers, you know, in formulating and making Black Labels. So yeah, can't live that down, can't play that down. You know, the importance and impact and influence they had in kind of showing the way that labels can kind of branch out and, you know, unleash what they're doing in a new way. Not a small thing, and they did it fantastically over a number of years. And yeah, another thing that I do just have to mention here, and which again I can't play down, just the amount of people, the amount of fans, the following that they've brought to this scene, to dubstep, to bass music at large again. It's just incredible, astronomical, and I mentioned it before, there'll be a lot of people who will have a strong affinity with Black Label, you know, be very attached to it. They will have grown up with Black Label, and Black Label will be the reason that they're into dubstep right now and why they love it. So cannot play that down, and I have to make clear here, I think, you know, speaking for me and for many others, you know, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people, in saying that I just hope they know how special they are and what they did for this scene and for all these people across the world, myself included, you know, from Schism to the producers and everyone working behind the scenes, from, you know, trailer people to the artwork people and just visuals overall, and the managers like, you know, people like Tom and Maria who have just done so much working behind the scenes and making sure that this aspect, this kind of sphere of dubstep just keeps ticking along in the right way, and yeah, just setting the path for everyone to kind of keep doing their thing as well, walking so that everyone else can run, if you get me. And yeah, just have to make sure that they know how big a part they played and how much they will be celebrated and cherished going forward. Even though, you know, it is gone, the label, it will live on forever through Never Say Die, and just in the minds and memories of people who have just witnessed the sheer amount that they have done for this scene, for dubstep music, bass music at large. Black Label will live on through Never Say Die, but R.I.P. in a way, you know. But yeah, that's my piece on a fantastic label. But yeah, there we have it. Black Label is over. How do you guys feel? Yeah, just generally about the label being over, and also your own quintessential Black Label tunes, you know, the ones that you think of straight away when Black Label comes to mind. I want to know all of it, your views, your thoughts, your opinions, and where this kind of leaves Never Say Die going forward as well. You know, what do you think they might change up now that everything's kind of being concentrated into just Never Say Die, the main label, and yeah, just where it goes from here. Again, want to hear it all? Drop all of your views, thoughts, and opinions in the comment section down below. Beyond that, if you're enjoying the content, then subscribe if you're yet to, and hit the bell along the way. And my social media accounts and Discord are linked below, as well as the Nawtystep Patreon page, which, yeah, if you want to help the channel grow, reach its full potential, all of that, then check out the link in the description, the different tiers, and get involved. But yeah, keep it naughty. If it's naughty, then you know, and I shall see all of you legends in the next one. Peace!